Did you know that most of those pumpkins that are sold at the grocery store and supermarkets in the fall for holiday decorations are edible? Well, I wait until after Halloween, 1st of November, to buy my pumpkins and squash because I can get them for very, very little money. So both of these cost me the same amount. It is February, and I bought these in the 1st of November, and they are both looking pretty good. Today I am going to cook a squash, and so it's been several months, and these will keep for a long time if they are kept at about 50 or 60 degrees usually. You got to keep an eye on them, but this is one of your storage vegetables, and it's really easy to cook them. So they cook like any other squash, but at any rate, so I want a stuffed squash for supper tonight. So I'm going to cut this one open because I just want to feed myself tonight. We'll see if that one's still in good condition. I am Vicki Manitou Okas. So tell you what, why don't I just go through a brief listing of by the numbers. Number one is to purchase one item every week that I go to the grocery store to build my resiliency pantry. Item 2 is 2 uses for every package. 3 is a focus on the 3 sisters. So it's basically a grain, a legume, and a storage vegetable. Number 4 is learn 4 plants in your area to know how to forage. 5 is 5 minutes to stop, breathe, and center. So when things go haywire and everything's going sideways, I just take a step back for 5 minutes and breathe. So 6 is find 6 people that you can count on when things get tough. 7 is develop 7 easy, flexible meals that you can turn to when things are difficult. 8, failure is a part of the learning process. So I don't believe in failure. I believe in learning. So what most people see as failure is actually a part of the learning process. 9 is my 9 spices that I use for flavoring and medicine to get me through winter and the blahs. 10 is to develop 10 basic skills, one at a time. 11 is 11 tools for the kitchen and 11 basic tools for the home. 12 months to study and practice a skill, and practice it daily. So I don't try to learn everything at once. I give myself a year on a skill to learn it and learn how to use that skill well. 13 is the 13 basic ingredients that I keep well stocked in my kitchen. But this is one of your storage vegetables, and it's really easy to cook them. So they cook like any other squash, but at any rate, so I want a stuffed squash for supper tonight. So I'm going to cut this one open because I just want to feed myself tonight. We'll see if that one's still in good condition. If it's not, then I will cook this one. So, but this is the one I want tonight. And this is squash is part of the 3 sisters. The Native American 3 sisters was corn, beans and squash or pumpkins, but almost every culture has the equivalent of those three staple crops. So when you're building resiliency into your food system, your three basics are a grain, a storage grain, corn. It could be corn, it could be wheat, it could be rice, but basically a storage grain, a storage vegetable, and in the Americas, that storage vegetable was squash. In some parts of Europe, it's cabbage, but it's basically a storage vegetable, and then a legume. So the beans are the legume, so you've got a very balanced diet, no matter what's going on. If you have a grain, a good solid grain, a storage vegetable, and a legume in your resiliency pantry, to get you through the hard times. So today we're cooking the squash. This takes a very sharp knife. So we're going to cut this open and see if this one is still in good condition. Good sturdy knife. And that is looking really, really good. Okay, now I need to hollow this out. And this top can also be cooked, so I will put that on the tray as well. Okay, now I'm going to save these seeds, so I'm going to put the seeds into the strainer. It's a good sturdy spoon. Scrape that in like you were cleaning out a pumpkin to make a jack-o'-lantern. Clean all those seeds and the pith out of the inside. That's a lot of seeds in there. That looks really, really good. This one is just starting to get soft, so it needed to be cooked. In 1st of November, I bought 9 squashes, 9 pumpkins, 3 like this, and 6 like the bigger one. And I've been cooking about one every couple of weeks. So right now I've got this one and 3 others left. After I cook this one, I'll have 3 left. And if you pick the right ones and keep them at the right temperature, they'll often keep until March or April. So they make a very good storage vegetable to get you through the winter, to get you through the next growing season. Okay, there it is. Okay, yeah, I'm going to, that's a lot of seeds in that one. So these seeds, I will clean those seeds up, and when I get done baking the squash, the pumpkin, then I am going to roast those pumpkin seeds. So that's a very easy thing to do too. So that gives you both your protein, good protein, and good vegetable for the day. So okay, now this goes on. I just put it on a pie plate and put it in the oven at 350 degrees for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and I get this started. So the next thing I'm going to do, so I took the stem off, I'm going to set this onto the baking sheet. Okay, I'm going to put this in the sink to wash that up later. So I've got both of these going into the oven for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and while I get the squash started, I'm going to make the stuffing that goes in here. So I will come back to that later, and I will, after I cook the stuffing, and we'll get the squash out of the oven and show you the next step. Okay, it has been about 15 minutes or half an hour, and it is time for the next step. So I have got the sausage browned, and I'm going to bring it over here. Okay, that is in that little cast iron skillet. I've got 1 onion, 2 cloves of garlic, and a ½ pound of ground sausage. Okay, I am going to add some rice to that. So this is just leftover rice. I got this recipe out of about 30 years ago, out of a Native American cookbook. I don't even remember which one it is. It's been so long. And the original recipe used wild rice, but I'm going to put some just regular white rice in there because that's what I've got. A little bit of salt. This way. A little bit of chipotle pepper. Now this isn't exactly how the recipe was, so I'm adapting it to my own uses. A little bit of Italian seasoning because that's what I like in it. Do those seasonings to taste. Mix this up really well. I'm going to grab the squash out of the oven. Okay. Alrighty, and we're going to stuff the squash with the meat mixture. This is enough to serve 2. So this will be either serve 2 or 2 meals for me. So put as much of that in there as I can. About like that. Okay. And then since I've got the oven going anyway, I'm going to put a couple of potatoes on there, and that will go back into the oven for until the squash is done and the potatoes are done. Okay, it has been about an hour and a half, and my supper is just about ready. And I've got the pumpkin seeds cleaned up, so we're going to get the pumpkin seeds ready to roast, and then take my supper out of the oven. So, there's the pumpkin seeds all cleaned up. I'm going to turn them out onto a paper towel. Sometimes, if I get them cleaned up early enough, I spread them out on a tray and let the heat from the oven dry them off a little bit. But I want these dried off a bit before I roast them, so I want most of that water out of there from washing them. So I'm going to do that by putting it on paper towel. And then just quickly tap the water out of there. That'll do. Okay. Now, a little bit of a drizzle of olive oil. Stir that in so everything is nicely coated with olive oil. Spread out a little bit. A little sprinkle of your favorite seasoning, salt. This is popcorn seasoning, but you know, whatever seasoning salt you like. Or just sea salt. And stir that. Okay, and that will roast for about 10 to 15 minutes. Depends on the size of the seeds, and these are little ones. Okay. It'll roast for about 10-15 minutes, and then let it cool and put it in a little container for later. Right now I'm going to put this out of the way. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. Ooh, that's warm. Okay, and the potatoes are ready, and I will have stuffed potatoes tomorrow. So there we are. That is how you make a stuffed pumpkin. Well, I hope you enjoyed that look at what resiliency looks like here in my kitchen and behind the scenes. So
That's just one of the things that I do to build resiliency in my life. So if you're interested in more this kind of content, subscribe, like, and come and join us at Delectable Tiny Gardens, the meeting place for people looking to build resiliency in tiny spaces. So come for a 7-day free trial and check out the PDF by the numbers and some of the other resiliency tools that I have there, and get a support in your path towards resiliency in your life. So thank you for joining me, and hey, I look forward to talking to you later.